Life is good. All these things with drones going on in the world doesn't affect me a bit. I'm not a bit worried. What's the point in worrying about that? Could be anything. The beast from the sea, huh, with seven horns. Could be that too. Could be anything. Could be the American military. Could be anything. Let's get on to music. So, it's 10 years. What have I done, my sweetest friend? What have I done since then? What I've done is I studied a lot of things, and I read a lot of books, and I wrote a lot of songs and poems. Then the pandemic hit, and Chris Gantry was like a leader then. He's a very, very honest man, you know, and he said we need to raise up and put up a song every day. So I tried to do that. And at that time, my father was alive. He thought 100 plays was huge. I wonder what he thinks of 12,500, you know, or 20,000 in a week plays, 2 songs. He's with me. He's with me. I know he is, and I believe he's in heaven. So there you, and the dog ate his lovely hat. Bruno, he did a job in the hat. I think the woolly hat, well, needs repairs. So what am I going to get on to about next? Yes, the pandemic. That helped me improve. First, what I started to notice was I would do cover songs, and then I'd do originals. And the originals were getting more plays than the cover songs. So and at the time I wasn't part of groups or anything, much groups anyway. And that made me stop and think. Maybe there is an appetite for originals out there, like maybe because I looked at the figures and there was there was a contrast between the two. So I kept at that. I didn't waste my 10 years. I don't consider it a waste. You see, some people just don't understand anything that there is some money in. Money is their measure of success. I don't think that way at all. I don't think that way at all. I think of it totally different altogether. You know, I'd rather have a little and be blessed than have a lot and be cursed. Because what they won't tell you, I know rich people, what they won't tell you until they're drunk is the stress they're under, trying to keep businesses going, trying to pay mortgages, trying to pay for everything. They don't have a moment's free. A friend of mine told me, he says, Rory, you should consider yourself lucky. There's men out there married and they're chained to the floor. Can't get out, and there's nothing they can do about it. You don't have that. And I remembered what he told me. I haven't seen him in a while, God bless him. He liked my Golden Rule song. But that's it. And another thing, to have complete freedom of what you're writing. Sometimes you have to disown family members. You do. You have to make difficult decisions, because everything you do, they'll monitor you, and they will. If you have a history of mental illness, they think they're a psychiatrist. They'll become your psychiatrist, and they say, "I think you're this. I think you're that. I think you're that." No. There'll be no more of that for Rory. No more of that anymore. I'm 47 and I've had enough of being told what to do. It's as simple as that. I have one family member that comes in, maybe two. That's it. Very, very odd time. They have their own busy lives. I have mine. I think I have a great life. I do. And the way I look at it is I am already being paid because I'm on social welfare. The taxpayer is paying for me here. So the least I can do is give a little bit back, even though some of my poems or songs might touch a nerve or two, and I might lose 10 followers like I did with that Ghost of Ballymahan song or a poem. That might be a song. And do you know what that was? That was the build up of years and years. And it just came out, it flowed like a river out of me onto the page. And do you know what? That's my most YouTube played video in 8 years. Many people like that, Many people probably think I'm making a show of Ballymahan. Well, I'm sorry if your pride is so important to you. But the truth is the truth. The way I see it, you go write a poem. You go write a poem and you post it. Do you know? I will no longer pretend to save the pride of other people. Deadly old sin, that pride. Do you know? So there you go. Life is good. People assumed that I was in an awful state of mind because I wrote that. No, that came deep within me. In a dark. What happens in me is when I have a dark moment, I write it down and I release it. That is very therapeutic and beneficial to me. It is my therapy. And people pay a fortune to go into a therapist. The therapist listens and they talk, and the therapist just listens. You can do the same into a video yourself, just like I'm doing now. You can talk into a video and nobody has to see it, or if it's a book like this will be, might never get published. You never know. But soon, all the private videos that I have of this book on YouTube, I will put public when I feel the time is right, because I can always go back and I have the full material for a book. Haven't decided what to call it. Don't even know if I'll send it to a publisher. We'll see how it goes. Small, steady steps without putting pressure on yourself. That's the way to go. Putting pressure on yourself is not a good idea. Let it flow. Let it flow. So the pandemic was good for me. It was good for me in many ways. I did have a little bit of a breakdown during it, but that's all in the past, and I'm no longer ashamed of myself, and I will no longer let people walk all over me. That day is over. And remember, you are not a psychologist, or you're not a psychiatrist. I've seen them. And you know what? I'd sooner talk to a priest. I find a priest is better to talk to than a psychiatrist. Most of them are faithless men. Don't have anything against that. They're trying to help. But I'd rather put my faith in God than pharmaceuticals. And pharmaceuticals are like the answer to everything, when a little bit of faith would do much more. God bless you.